All right, guys. It's been a little while since we've talked about the Squealers. That's right, Mike and Mindy Squealer, otherwise known as Meg Squealer, have started their own publication called Comics Illustrated, which is nothing more than trash, fake news, and ultimately a right wing only magazine. Now, you might say, aren't you kind of slide on the right, LP? Aren't you a little bit conservative? And the answer to that is, yeah, I kind of am. But I can also see that if you're going to do a magazine on comic books, that you need to cover all aspects of comic books, not just the comic books and the creators that align with you politically. And trust me, the Squealers are not even on the right. They're on the far right, teetering on the edge of insanity, sort of far right. To the point where if you are going to be an actual publication for comic books, that you need to conduct yourself with a level of professionalism that goes above and beyond the norm, which they are not doing. In fact, they are anything but professional. And you're going to see that here with letters that they have received, cease and desist letters on behalf of a certain comic book creator. And this is just the first of many to come before things get really serious. And trust me, they can get serious and they might get serious. I've been contacted by a number of individuals who look at the Squealers as a real problem, as people who are conducting real harassment, doing real libelous and slanderous things, trying to actively destroy people's businesses, including yours truly, and as well as one Dustin Burnell of Ethereal Publications. So we're going to read what an actual cease and desist letter looks like. And then we're going to see their ultimate and professional response to receiving a legal letter in the mail. So it's sent via email. Mike and Mindy Squealer of Fake Comics News Illustrated. Cease and desist letter on behalf of Ethereal Publications, LLC. Dear Mike and Mindy Squealer, our office represents, let's see here. I'm just trying. Our office represents Ethereal Publications, LLC, a registered Tennessee LLC. And then they got some little details here, Secretary of State control number, whatever. Dustin Burnell of Ethereal Publications contacted us due to his concerns that your publication, fake news, by the way, Squealer Illustrated, was going to use his work for commercial purposes without his permission. This, and it's in bold case letters here. This is in a formal cease and desist letter demanding that you not use any work of Ethereal Publications in your publication. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to make this a little smaller so you guys can see the whole thing. Ethereal Publications has found success in the comics world in recent years due to the creativity and skill of Mr. Burnell and other artists who work for the company. All true. As an independent publisher, Mr. Burnell takes pride in his company's ability to stake its claim in an industry dominated by large corporations. Mr. Burnell wants to protect his company's intellectual property against commercialized use by other parties. He was therefore alarmed when he learned that your plans to use his characters without his permission, repackaging his work, and to sell it in a magazine to subscribers is for your own financial benefit. Anyone who violates this exclusive right of a copyright owner has infringed on that person's copyright, 17 USC 501A. The two elements of copyright infringement are ownership of a valid copyright, which he does not have, copying a constituent element of a work that is original. And he cites a case of Stormback versus New Line Cinema. Mr. Burnell has a copyright in the characters and stories he's created, satisfying the first element of that law. Copying elements of Mr. Burnell's work without his express written permission would satisfy the second element of that law, especially considering that your recreations of his work are for purposes of pursuing for your own profits. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, This man is stacking his magazine with articles and art from different creators in the name of being a journalist, which we like to call here journalists, and think that's completely okay. It's not. You are selling this magazine for profit, and inside that magazine, you have other people's work that you don't have the rights to. That is what we call wrong. And other people are noticing. And trust me, if you start using other people's work, mine included, you will find out very, very fast, like a slap in the face, like a backhand to the face of why that is not a good idea. Mr. Brunel told me that you have used freedom of press as a defense to other artists' complaints about this type of behavior. While your organization has the right under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution to report to news about independent comics, book industry that does not extend to copyright, not extend to copying comic book artists' work production and passing it into your magazine to promote your own sales. Right, you can talk about us, but you can't reproduce artwork, put it in your publication, either as a page or a cover or even as an insert. Not going to happen. Please respond to this letter within 14 days confirming that you will not use any of Ethereal Publications' work in Comics Illustrated without express written permission of Ethereal Publications. If you use this work without such permission, please know that Ethereal Publications is well within its rights to file suit against you for copyright infringement. Brad Stevens, attorney at law. Sounds pretty serious, right? And it should be. You know, when you have to go through the trouble to hire a lawyer, have a C&D letter written out, sent to you. Brian Palillo's known for doing this, especially when people run prints and stuff of Lady Death without his permission. You are going to get one of these. It just happens. It's the way the law works, right? But see, Mike Squealer, is going to ignore legal letters. Here is Mike Squealer's official response. And it says, thank you. Hello, thank you. Here, how can... thank you for reaching out. We are Comics Illustrated, a new indie comics news magazine. Your client is and will be featured in a news article in our magazine. We'll be running the story regardless of the cease and desist letter, as we know nothing about the law. As it is our First Amendment right, because I am a far-right extremist, I believe in January 6th. We will include whatever content we wish that is publicly available that may promote the story. This is covered under fair use. The use of textual, visual, and other quotations of cultural material for purposes of reporting, criticism, commentary, or discussion constitute fair use. We're going to find out. We are going to find out, my friend, if you blatantly stealing people's works of art for your own financial gain constitutes as fair use. I hope to God that, this all comes to fruition and you are taken to court, Mike. Because I wouldn't fuck around with Dustin Burnell. He's got more fuck you money than you do. Because, Mike, you don't have any money. Any future letters from you will be considered harassment. You are a fine fucking person to talk about harassment. How many times have you come into my channel trying to stir up shit? How many times have you harassed Jamie Tyndall, Sean of Merc Magazine, or Shakari? How many times, Mike? We know, because we all have the receipts. I've been talking with all these gentlemen. We know. We're watching. Any lawsuits filed on your behalf of your client will be met with a countersuit of filing a frivolous lawsuit, as well as holding your client not only responsible for your attorney fees, but ours as well, along with whatever court costs may arise. Because you have no money. Mike, you couldn't even hire a lawyer to respond properly and professionally. You had to write this trash yourself. It also looks like you are a certified family law specialist. You do not have much experience in the realm of First Amendment or copyright law. How do you know that? That, my friend, is an assumption. You have assumed that this particular law specialist, family law specialist, has no experience in copyright law. You know what, Mike? If I was to get legal advice, right, I would trust the lawyer of Dustin Burnell far beyond your non-trained, non-educated, half-ass fucking armchair quarterback fucking TV watching fucking ideas of law. Right? You probably get, how the law works from watching old episodes of NYPD Blue or some shit. Your ignorance on the subject matter really shows through here. So, and here's where it gets really professional, right? Though in not so many words, feel free to piss off. This will also be posted to social media. So, it's like 4 huge mistakes with this, right? 4 huge mistakes. I'll show, and just so you know, right? That I'm not, this really is his response. It's cropped out here, but I'm gonna, thanks, Mike Wheeler, right? And up here, you can see that it's from Mike. 4 big things here. 1, you didn't have a lawyer write this up. That's your first big mistake. Your second big mistake was doing this shit in the first place. Your third big mistake is discrediting the expertise of someone who is an actual lawyer and you are not. Your fourth big mistake is telling the lawyer to piss off. It's not professional. It doesn't make your illustrated magazine look like you're a professional operation. And the last, fifth, I guess, is that you will be posting your shit to social media. You really think that's a smart idea? The fact of the matter is this, ladies and gentlemen, that the squealers, they're on borrowed time. Okay? Many in the upper echelons of the comic book community, actual professionals, people who make real money, have real comic book deals, have real power, have real say, have contacted me. And they asked me to ease up on the Mike Squealer situation. Because there was a larger plan in place, which I didn't know about at first, but now I am aware. And without speaking too great into the larger plan, I mean, I could tell you that what should be pretty obvious is that we're gathering video clips, we're gathering screenshots, we are keeping note of things just like this, these cease and desist letters that are now being sent to him. We are examining who he's working with and their demeanor. And it's all being compiled, to people who actually have real money, who can hire, in Mike, Mike really wants copyright lawyers, trademark lawyers, things of that such, to ultimately shut this down if need be. Okay, shut the squealers down if need be. And the only reason why I'm covering this is A, it is news, but B, I want people to see how serious things are going to get, okay? You don't send out cease and desist letters if you don't have any intention of a follow-through. Otherwise, you're just wasting money on a lawyer for nothing, right? If you're going to go this far to send out a C&D, you better be prepared to carry it through. And I think Dustin Burnell is not only willing, but very capable of carrying this through. And he's got a lot of support from a lot of people in the upper echelon, including myself, even though I'm not upper echelon. But I have been contacted by these people, lots of people. And I have done my part. When the squealers sent letters to Ben Dunn, guess what? Ben Dunn sends those to me, and I send those right over to the interested parties, okay? Nothing you say or do is a secret, my friend. So, Mike, if you want to keep acting this way, you want to keep trying to be the fat Republican outlaw, keep going. Because you are giving yourself enough rope to hang yourself. It may be the long game, and we're willing to play the long game with you. But I just want to inform the general comic book community that you're trash. Your magazine is trash. Anyone who's willing to participate in it, whole well knowing what you're about. Because I do understand there might be people participating that have no idea what's really going on behind the scenes. And for those people, I'm sorry when I say this, but If you are participating in Comics Illustrated with Mike Wheeler, knowing Mike's background, Mindy's background, and you don't care, then you're trash, right? You just are. There is no exceptions to this. You will not come out and attack credible, legit artists and creators for your own ha-has and for your own gain, for your own financial gain, without some sort of pushback. And I don't mean like a video from me on the internet. This is just like the smallest part of the pushback that you're going to get. Now, speaking of, comic books and whatnot, stay tuned for a word from our sponsor. If you guessed it and you said, I bet you any money LP is the sponsor of his own video, you would be 100% correct. I am. We are currently crowdfunding Nyobi Penguina #1, the crossover campaign. With 20 days left to go, we're at 178 backers. We have raised 7,356 Canadian dollars, which is about $1.52 US. Maybe enough to get me a cup of coffee. Help me get lunch at McDonald's by, pledging to this campaign. Pick one out of 6 great covers we got to choose from. It is a 30-page book where Nyobi teams up with her good friend Penguina to go on an epic classic superhero adventure. It's a book you don't want to miss.